All right, let's get this show started.
In today's video, Frankie Edgar falls out of the cage while training, Paddy Pimblett not interested in squashing beef with Ariel Helwani, Nate Diaz in big trouble following street altercation, Diaz reacts to KSI being the backup fighter for his fight against Jake Paul, Michael Bisping reacts to Nate Diaz's street altercation, Covington accuses Masvidal of faking retirement to take PEDs, and Gilbert Burns reveals why he agreed to 5 rounds against Belal Muhammad. Frankie Edgar posted a video on his Instagram account on Monday showing a recent mishap he endured while training with another fighter. He captioned the video with, "Over 18 years in the game and I'm still making rookie mistakes, facepalm. Forgot to lock the cage door when I was training, Mark Gray 135 and boom. I was expecting to feel the cage on my back, but instead, I felt the stairs dig into my back and the back of my head into the floor. Thankfully, there were rubber mats on the floor, still got up and finished the session. We got fights to win. Hashtag FE, hashtag Bozo." Paddy Pimblett has no intention of resolving his beef with Ariel Helwani. During a recent interview on Severe MMA, Paddy snubbed the idea of rekindling a relationship with Helwani, stating, "The Ariel Helwani stuff, people turned on me for telling the truth about Ariel. Lad, it's crazy. I've got all the receipts. I've got all that on my phone." This receipts thing is the maddest shout ever. At the time, I actually considered Ariel a friend. Obviously, I was never a friend to him. He saw me as a pound sign. The annoying thing about that was people saying to me, "You've just been bullying Ariel and you've started an anti-bullying charity." My charity isn't an anti-bullying charity. For one, it's just a foundation to help people. 2, I haven't bullied Ariel at all. I said this the other day. I shouldn't have called him names. I shouldn't have said nasty words. Everything else was the truth. He tried to assassinate my character. Nate Diaz might be in trouble. On Monday, New Orleans police issued an arrest warrant for Nate Diaz on suspicion of second-degree battery in the wake of a Bourbon Street brawl that went viral. NOPD spokesperson Karen A. Beaudry said the New Orleans police issued the charge after gathering videos of the incident in which Diaz allegedly choked the unconscious Logan Paul lookalike, Rodney Peterson. Diaz's longtime teammate, Jake Shields, quickly took to Twitter to defend his friend. He tweeted, "After hearing New Orleans has issued an arrest warrant on Nate Diaz, I called my team to carefully break down the footage. Give this thread a look and give me your opinion of ID. This is self-defense. Defensive posture, not in fighting stance, arm not extended, feet parallel, back less than a foot from a wall, unknown person with a leg between his, grabs hands instead of punching. Rodney then adjusts his stance to one that is able to generate more power. Rodney does not try to de-escalate, instead he fights the hands. Rodney, inside position, raises his hands towards Nate's head. I'm biased, but this is clearly self-defense." Shields also believes that Peterson attacked Diaz to make a name for himself. He wrote, "Here you can see he's also a pro fighter looking for attention. He attacked Nate trying to make a name for himself." Nate Diaz has reacted to Jake Paul accepting KSI's offer for the YouTuber to be a backup fighter for their bout on August 5th. KSI tweeted, "Well, if that means Jake won't have an opponent in August, then I'll gladly come as the replacement after I KO Joel Fournier in May." Jake replied saying, "Great, I accept you as the backup opponent. Fight is at 185. There are no rehydration clauses. Stay in shape and we will give you a call if needed. Thanks, buddy, for being so humble and committed." And now Diaz reacted by tweeting, "Lol, why don't you two scared pussies just fight each other August? I'll fight someone who can really fight." On his Believe You Me podcast, Michael Bisping reacted to Nate Diaz choking out a Logan Paul lookalike.
No such thing as bad news, right? He's all over the MMA world again. He's all over the press and the papers and the headlines. Ultimately, it's tremendous promotion for the fight, but that isn't what he's consciously thinking of. Now, I'm not sitting here criticizing the man because we're all kind of cut from the same cloth. I'm older now. But, you know, Nate's 38. You think he'd be starting to just simmer down with that a little bit. But I guess to a certain degree that he's been rewarded for it. You know, so like when I was younger, you know, I was always getting into trouble with the police. I was always getting into fights and stuff, and I would essentially just get away with it, you know, and no one really told me otherwise. And so and then also I made a lot of friends through it, you know, and I became popular through it. So I was being, again, rewarded for that behavior. And until it really bites you in the ass, you're not going to learn that lesson. For me, that was going to prison. You know, for Nate, that might be someone sticking a knife in him as he's walking down the street. You know, I hope that never happens, of course. But, you know,
Colby Covington isn't convinced Jorge Masvidal is hanging up the gloves for good. In a recent interview with Inside Fighting, Covington accused Masvidal of faking retirement to take steroids. He said, "I took away his confidence and his ego. He hasn't been the same fighter. He just showed up for a paycheck his last fight. It's a fake retirement. We all know people in the UFC that don't retire. He'll get out of the USADA pool, probably go do some steroids, and come back. He doesn't know how to make money any other way but fighting. He's not really retired. That guy's dumber than in the head. He's not going to be able to make money any other way but fighting. I can guarantee you, he'll be back to get a paycheck." Gilbert Burns and Belal Muhammad have agreed to meet in a 5-round fight on May 6th after the original co-headliner between Charles Oliveira and Beneil Dariush was moved to UFC 289 following an injury suffered by Oliveira. Speaking to Jimmy Smith on SiriusXM, Burns discussed the Belal Muhammad matchup and explained why this fight is scheduled for 5 rounds.
Why the 5-round fight?
To be able to get a finish, to be able to make sure I'm getting a finish, because like even Masvidal, I think I was doing a good fight. I was pressured a little bit, but he's still dangerous. You know, he's still like he's still at the fight. Even people think, man, just go forward. He was hurt, but every time I check, the left hook was right there. I say, man, that guy's still here. But 4 rounds, 5 rounds, I think I'll be able to draw that guy in and eventually get a finish. And I think that's it with everybody. You know, I think Belal Muhammad is not a quitter. Don't get me wrong. I don't think, but I do believe I had the power to get a couple shots and put that guy away, or the jiu-jitsu. You know, if I get on top, if I get his back, it's over. You know, I'm gonna take this guy out, and I think 25 minutes is enough time to put the guy in a bad position, take advantage of.
Here are the top 3 funniest memes we found on the internet today. 3rd place was found over Reddit and was posted by a user named MysteriousCost501. Our 2nd place pick was found over Facebook and was posted by a user named UFC News and Memes. And our top picked meme of the day was found over Reddit and was posted by a user named Connor Loves Pepsi. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel to keep up with the latest MMA news.